So I logged into Twitter for all about 3 seconds, and the mentally ill wrestling fans have already took the biscuit. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. There's numerous tweets to get into here. Right, Logan Paul tweeted 14 hours ago, make it happen at WWE. Now, of course, unless you've been living under a rock or you maybe don't have Twitter, Elon Musk and Donald Trump have been going back and forth. Whether it's pulling business deals, space deals, spaceships, or Epstein lists. Right? People have been getting it's been getting feisty. It's been getting feisty between Big Donny T and Elon Musk, right? So Logan Paul capitalizing on this. Everybody's having a bit of banter about Elon Musk versus Trump. There's already about a billion memes out there. It's funny, right? So Logan Paul's like, make it happen, WWE, right? Obviously, trying to bring some much needed eyes to the product, puts an AI graphic of SummerSlam with Elon Musk versus Trump with the New Jersey sign in the background. Because obviously, yeah, you guessed it, SummerSlam is in New Jersey. But then, the mentally ill wrestling fan, ish, with a cowboy hat, I hope you genuinely suffer, you fucking sick piece of shit. Right. Why does Logan Paul deserve that? What, because he joked that we should have Elon Musk versus Donald Trump at SummerSlam? These people are fucking mentally ill, man. Honestly, absolutely mentally fucking ill. I don't get. I mean, this would be like the equivalent of AOC and Kamala Harris getting into a beef, right? And people saying some liberal in WWE, who's a liberal? I mean, they're all kind of liberals. Say, Becky Lynch, make it happen, WWE. You know, who would think like that? Oh, that's sick. You just, I mean, wishing that Logan Paul suffers and calls him this fucking sick piece of shit. No, ish, the goat. I'd argue you're the sick fucking piece of shit saying that Logan Paul should suffer because he jokes about a match happening at SummerSlam. Pathetic. Now, some of the comments are getting stuck in. Victor says, Jesus, this guy took a political meme way too serious. He needs to go outside or something, my God. Uh, Rip Van Winkle, go outside and count the blades of grass, buddy. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And we've got other news to dive into because Chris Van Fleet is having KANE on his podcast, and there's been an absolute meltdown. Now, I've actually replied to a few people on this, but we'll just go through. We've typed in Chris Van Fleet, right, on Twitter, and let's dive into it. Chris Van Fleet, when it comes to platforming pieces of shit. Because here we go. Interview with Glenn Jacobs coming next week with a fire emoji, right? Yeah, Chris Van Fleet's he's a horrible human being, and he should die because he's interviewing one of the legends of wrestling history. I mean, one of the best characters in wrestling history, the Big Red Machine Kane. Guy gave decades to the business, some iconic moments, man, and he deserves to die just because this guy's getting interviewed because he's different political beliefs. It's fucking crazy. Look at this, Kim. This guy interviews the worst of humanity in the wrestling world and never comments on any criticism he receives. I'll tell you why he never comments on any criticism he receives, because the people commenting and responding to him are mentally fucking ill. How can you win with these people? The worst of humanity. Glenn Jacobs, that man right there, that guy that has gave us countless memories in a wrestling ring, that guy who everyone speaks about. Oh, he's a sweetheart, he's this, he's that, he's intelligent, he's a great guy, but all because he's a Republican and he's a mayor in, what was it, Tennessee, Glenn County, no, Knox County, Tennessee. He's a horrible human being. He's the worst of humanity. But, I know they're saying worst of humanity in the wrestling world, right? But I mean, come on. What an over. The worst of humanity. I mean, the worst of humanity is killers, rapists, shit like that. Glenn Jacobs couldn't be any further away from that. And then look at this guy, Matt Coon. Always been a fan of you. Having a well known homophone and transphobe, among other things, on your show is disappointing. Don't give him a platform to normalise his hate. You're being used for this purpose. We head to his Twitter. Dad, musician, teacher, podcast. Don't know why Eric Bischoff's following him. Eric Bischoff should unfollow this fucking Fruit Loop. But yeah, I mean, come on. Absolutely grating because Chris Van Fleet has done that. Um, Chris Van Fleet for like the past like 5 months for some reason. I did know hella predators, but I hang with them just to see how their mind work. And how's Glenn Jacob a predator? You know, doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But we'll die. There's also a tweet for Ian Andrew Dice, an absolute fud, by the way. So as you see, I responded because Dice Clay said Chris Van Fleet would interview the Westboro Baptist Church if they had a story about how cool the Attitude Era was. Complete fraud. So I replied, complete fraud for interviewing a wrestling legend who has opposing political opinions from yours. Keep crying, little bitch. And that's exactly what these people are, man. And then look at his bio. He, him. Yeah. What a maneuver. No wonder wrestling is dead because it's just surrounded. Well, not sur. I mean, it's not surrounded. It's full. Pretty much every fan that watches it and thinks it's good is just mentally ill libtards. That's pretty much what it is. And I mean, here we have Chris Van Fleet interviewing Kane. I mean, what's Chris Van Fleet supposed to do? What? He's never going to interview Hogan. He's never going to interview Undertaker, Austin, Roman Reigns, guys that vote Republican, guys that voted for Trump. Was he not? He's just going to turn down all those opportunities because of a couple of freak show bastards with multicoloured hair. Come on, play the game. The disgrace.